Right up to date and live now with the first of the Shell Oil's Formula Ford 1600 race, the C race. Number 88, Kieran McLaren, there on pole position. Alongside him, Bill Griffin. Then it's Michael Cullen, Kieran Sheridan. And these are the men who are basically learners in the Formula Ford business, the most popular single-seater formula in the world, and a place that David Kennedy, my co-commentator on this one, knows all about, because that's the way he started a few years ago, David.
Yes, nearly 10, 12 years ago now. This is where I cut my teeth. Many international racing drivers, all top Irish racing drivers, began their career here and are way to a good start.
And Kieran McLaren on the inside, number 88 on the outside. There we have Bill Griffin. And just disputing that at the moment, Kieran McLaren in the Crossley 55F gets it. Michael Cullen in there in third place in the Van Diemen. But it's McLaren, the Northern Ireland driver, who is very cleanly out through Boac and out into the country for the first time, having trouble from his visor and hardly believing that he's got this sort of lead already in a Formula Ford race. Michael Cullen going a little bit wide on the outside.
Yeah, Michael in third place. Bill in second, still hanging on there to first place. Still just getting the cars warmed up there. He's getting a tremendous lead actually, Kieran, on this first lap. I don't know whether he has this advantage or whether just that Bill has been held up or having to defend his position. But now he's in second place. In third place is a white car coming from a great family of motor racing, Michael Cullen.
So Michael Cullen, and indeed the man ahead of him coming from a great family of motor racing too, Bill Griffin. Bill Griffin runner-up in the Crossley Challenge Cup, but here they come, all really fighting down over the hill to complete the first lap. So it's Kieran McLaren, then a little bit of sorting out. He's got quite a gap, Bill Griffin, and then Cullen now making a challenge there in third place. 37, Kieran Sheridan in fourth place, the Wicklow man who's well up in this championship at the moment. George McLashin actually jointly leading it with Kieran Sheridan. So this is a very important race for that man, the fourth car there, the red car.
Yeah, it seems to be a four-car race. In fact, I believe Kieran is a pig farmer, so let's hope he doesn't do any farming today. He seems to be driving very nicely and very tidily. He's pushing, in fact, Michael Cullen very, very hard. So into the great scrap for third place, terrific scrap, still not losing the front runner Kieran. Kieran is still keeping that slight advantage that he opened up on the first lap. Through the Esso complex, now coming up to Dunlop Corner, one of the tightest corners in the track, a very important corner because it leads onto a quick straight. They get down to second gear for this. Probably take this corner around 40, 45, 50 miles an hour.
And there's Kieran Sheridan now really putting on the pressure on Michael Cullen. Young Michael Cullen, only 22, and Sheridan must have a go on the outside. That's not the place to do it. And really a little bit more experience would have taught him that, David.
Yes, he can lose a lot of time actually by making moves that don't get past the other car. In fact, what will happen now, if he keeps pressuring that driver, they could fall back away from the leaders and lose any chance they have of winning the race. But then again, he's got to do something to get by, and trying to get by he is. The
man in fifth place at the moment, Peter Egan, he also seems to be slightly coming into contention, but not in picture at the moment. This is the battle for third. Michael Cullen then in the Van Diemen, right behind him in the Crossley, Kieran Sheridan. Kieran with the Sheridan Insurances and Wexford sponsorship. Michael Cullen with the Sprint it is, the printers there. And he got a little bit more of a gap now, a little bit more time to relax. And look at Bill Griffin, he's getting on with the job too. He's certainly close to the leader there a little bit. Kieran McLaren is probably looking a bit too much in his mirrors, I think.
Yeah, slightly. When you're watching in your mirrors so much, you tend to lose just a little bit of concentration on the road ahead of you, but you've got to defend your position, so it's a difficult job to do, is to maintain your position, keep the car behind you and still drive quickly. Down into the back straight, Rotman's coming up to Duckham, one of the fastest corner on the track. Approach it in fourth gear, down to third and down to second for the slow right-hand exit.
So these are all the young men of tomorrow, the men who we can expect with a bit more experience to come further and further up from the C race into the B race, and then of course eventually into the Formula Ford finals. These two young men here, Cullen, both making mistakes there indeed, their rawness showing. Kieran there, a little bit of a wobble, maybe he was put off by Cullen having his wobble on the inside. Peter Egan in fourth place, and then we have another new man from Tralee, O'Halloran there behind him.
Yeah, Seamus O'Halloran driving the white car, his electrical contractor. He's still beginning to get into touch there. But I think these races are so short, you have to make your ground in the first couple of laps, otherwise you'll just never make that ground up again.
And once again, Kieran Sheridan really putting on the pressure there on Michael Cullen. Don't forget the other two out ahead of him. Bill Griffin just gone out of picture there. But this is where the fun is, and this is where the battle. And these two really will be trying. Some people try to tell you that motor racing is not a physical sport. I tell you, if you're in there battling away in that closeness, the temperatures in there are something else.
Yes, they're certainly cooking it up now. They're pressing very, very hard. Kieran is pressing Michael. Michael sponsored by Sprint Instant Print, and now we join the leaders.
And look at this. Bill Griffin has really done a lot of work there. He's whittled away that lead. Bill Griffin, the Dubliner in the motor trade, lying in second place in the Shell B Championship, is right on the tail now, the leader. And Kieran McLaren is going to have to watch himself, and watching is what he's doing. He's peering in the mirrors all the time, and that is only losing his concentration. He's a really worried man.
He is indeed. Bill is piling on the pressure. Bill, a very experienced, but quite an experienced pilot. Bill is 27. His brother is also racing in another Formula Ford race. His brother Dave Griffin, again, very experienced pilot. As you said, a very experienced motor racing family. So he must spend most of his life talking about motor racing, so should have good tactics on this one now.
Well, I think if I was Bill Griffin at this stage, I'd be quite a happy man, because I've really got that guy ahead worried. Meanwhile, Michael Cullen has pulled away a little bit from Kieran Sheridan, but this is where it's at now. Bill Griffin absolutely like a dog worrying a sheep there, and Kieran McLaren beginning to make mistakes.
He is, but he's still keeping a great degree of control over his driving. He's possibly watching his mirrors just a little too much. You can see him moving his head from left to right. You only really need to look in your mirrors just once, because the car behind you isn't suddenly going to accelerate and appear out of nowhere.
Peter Egan coming over the hill there, number 29, back with the leaders as they dive down from Dunlop to complete another lap. And that is, in fact, 6 laps completed of this 10-lap Shell Oil's Champion and C Championship qualifier, the Pico's Championship.
Bill tends to catch up just a little bit of ground here. I think he's a nicer entry into the corner, into Shell, and then off through BOAC. You can see there's only 1 or 2 car lengths in between it. So down to Duckham's Corner again, 7th lap with a couple of them 10-lap race, catching quite a bit now. There's only just a car's length in it.
So number 88, Kieran Sheridan, Bill Griffin right in there now, and really he must make his challenge soon. He's there on the 7th lap of this 10-lap race. He's around the outside. That's going to give him probably quite a good line out of Castrol here, and an opportunity maybe to get him up over the hill and down into Dunlop.
Yes, I think he's come out of the corner a slight bit quicker. There's an opportunity he might outbrake. Yeah, he's blocking them, and he's sliding, and he's just very luckily held down. A good degree of skill there. Now he's right on his tail. A good slipstream here, and he might be able to nip out and get on the inside or the outside for Shell Corner.
So a tremendous dice here for the C Championship qualifier. Griffin round the outside once again. Runner-up in the Crosley Challenge Cup, which was for the older Formula Fords with outboard suspension. And here he goes. He's learnt a lot in really just his first season of racing. Kieran McLaren's been at it a little longer, not much longer in fairness to him. And there's Griffin with the IGO International sponsorship for the weekend. But there's Cullen, and we have a tangle. Number 34 there, that's in trouble, Stephen Sinnott, a complete novice to Formula Ford. And look at this, we're back with the leader, Kieran McLaren, with the most enormous amount of yellow pressure in his mirrors at the moment, and he certainly is still looking at it.
Again, taking the inside line, which is a slower line, so he won't be able to get down the straight as quick. Kieran has to take that blocking manoeuvre, otherwise Bill will get down the inside. Now Bill has got out of that corner quicker, so he's again going to be in a position to attempt an overtaking move.
But Griffin nearly loses it a long way off the corner that time. He was right out on the left, and that was a little bit ragged. But Bill Griffin now going to have to leaf through the library of family motor racing experience here to really get past this man. They are now on the 9th lap of this 10-lap race. So this time is running out for the Dubliner at the moment.
Up into the SO complex. Bill must be really getting frustrated. He's thrown his best at Kieran, and Kieran has blocked him every time. He's going to be hard pushed to try and get by. Kieran has driven a tremendously, exceptionally good defensive race through the SO complex again, and now up to Dunlop.
And once again, you can see the head really bobbing about. Where is this man, Griffin? He is looking. Kieran McLaren in the clothing business, very close indeed. And we have somebody slowing down at the inside there. A retirement, not going to affect the first three. Still can see Michael Cullen in the distance there in third place, but all eyes as they go on now to the last lap of this battle. Griffin right out the outside. He's lost it, Griffin. He's thrown it away. And Michael Cullen is through into second place. And indeed, we have Kieran Sheridan through into third place. So poor Bill Griffin threw it all away, David.
He did, and in fact I thought that he would actually make it around the outside there, but just that slight bit too much throttle, got the back of the car out, took it onto the grass, and he very, very nearly controlled it, but then it just got away from him. Unfortunate, but nobody hurt, just a minor incident. It's taken the pressure certainly off Kieran. He can now really more or less freewheel it home.
So McLaren then from Newton Ards with a great sigh of relief, I bet, when he looked in his mirror for about the 5,000th time in that race and saw that little yellow Crosley spin away. It's going to be Michael Cullen in second place. There he is in the sprint, Van Diemen. And down comes McLaren, and a very just win in the Shell Oils qualifier. Then in second place, Cullen. In third place, Sheridan. And in fourth place, we have to consult our lap charts, number 21, and that was Bill Griffin recovering to fourth. So there he is.